Hello and welcome to RC Birds. On today's video I start the build of the Unimog the RC11 gifted me. Yesterday I studied a little bit this manual, and this is not a typical Tamiya build. You get not a complete chassis where you put the suspension and the gearbox on. You build the chassis complete from parts. There are many steps which will repeat themselves. So I think it's the best thing I do the build on a time lapse, and in between I say something about which I found out or think maybe it's important for you out there if you want to build this car. For the tools, there are just standard screwdrivers, plier, cutter knife, some of these wood sticks for the thread lock, my good old boat grease, some paper towels, and for some additional work, it wouldn't be bad to have additional zip ties, these pliers, a scissor, and some hex drives. Before I start, I like to thank the RC11 for this awesome kit. It makes me happy, and I'm really going forward to build it now. So this is a mainframe chassis. These were the steps number 1 to number 2. I used back A. It's pretty straightforward, a little bit challenging. And so I have to admit some little things. You have to read the manual really good. There are some things that are mentioned, but you have to find it. It's mentioned that this and this is made twice. Here you make 4, and see this thin line here? This thin line means that the gap in this link shaft has to be horizontal, or these parts are mirrored. It can be diagonal, but it has to be on the other side the same diagonal. Then this is part 1A, part B, and here have we B, A, B. It's a little bit challenging, but I like it. And of course I made one mistake. I have forgotten these 2 stabilizers, but this was not a big issue. I just loosened the screws, opened up the frames, the frame rails, and could put them in. The other thing is, in the back A, you've got a lot of these M3 machine screws, and their size is 20, 80, 50 millimeters. This you can see. 12, 10, and 8. They are very close to each other. The 22 millimeters I don't mention because this is kind of a nickel color. So I really recommend you to use these measurement sketches which are drawn at the side of the page. The next thing I like to say is this thread lock. This is a Gale. Use only a little bit. Take care that it don't gets to the plastic. Because this might attack the plastic. Also, get this little box closed when you don't use it, or the thread lock might dry out. One thing which isn't said so good in the manual is that these holes have to be this direction. You see it later on when you see how the door of the battery box is used. Have I one thing forgotten? It already looks very good. This is all. On the next time I go on with the axles, which probably might be step 5 until step 11. From step 12 on, the screw back B is used. But I try to keep the videos more interesting and not so long. The other thing, as I said, to the screws also can be said about the E-clips. You've got in this back 5 and 4 millimeter E-clips. As you might have mentioned, I had cutted out this A. This I will use in a separate box, where I put all the parts in that have been left over after the build. Oh, A, B, C, D. And this is for some bigger parts. And one little hint, I have to say, never throw away those plastic bags. There might be some little parts get lost from the sprues. Let me look for an example. Yes. These are really tiny parts. They can get lost already here in the back or by handling it. So if you threw away this bag, it might be on the dumpster when you see that you're missing a part. So I put these first back into the kit box, so I can really search if I missing a part and it isn't already get lost. So thank you for watching, and thanks to the RCL for sending me this great gift. If you got some questions, write it down in the comments. Leave a like if you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel. This will really help me out. See you soon on RC Birds.